The truth about surrendering your twin flame. Hello and welcome. We're Stijn and Johanna. Welcome
Mhm.
to our YouTube channel, Twin Flames Traveling Within. We want to talk today
Mhm.
about this specific topic because we noticed that there are a little bit misconceptions and misunderstanding about what true surrender on your twin flame ascension journey truly means.
Mhm.
Um, so let's start going deeper on this topic. The
Mhm.
truth about surrender is surrender on itself is a very good thing to do,
Mhm.
actually. It's a must. It's actually very important
So
because
what
at the
does
end of the day
mm,
you surrender to, let's some people call it universe, let's say the divine. So you surrender the outcome. That's
mm,
true.
mhm.
But there is a small part that people sometimes miss when it comes to
Mhm.
this. And the small part is that you're like a co-creator,
Mhm.
with life and in your
Mhm.
reality. And what we
Mhm.
mean with that is not like you're going to manipulate or any of those
Mhm.
things. Co-creation is basically that you heal your inner blocks. And with blocks, we mean your resistance towards more love, or having your good in your reality.
Yeah, but what it actually means is when we do the mirror exercise, for example, and what you're saying, right? Surrender just means, letting go, right?
Mhm.
Letting go, right? Giving it to God, giving it to the divine, giving it to the universe, life itself, love itself, right? You basically being non-attached, right? And then letting also, life, God, love do its thing. But what we also want to say here is that, yeah, you also have a part, right, in co-creating your beautiful life of love, right, or your harmonious twin flame union, or your perfect life that, that loves your soul and that you're meant to live. And, the reason why we say this is because, yeah, you really have power, right? You have power, sovereignty over yourself, over your own being, over your own energy, over your thoughts, your beliefs, right? And the whole vibration that you carry. And this is very essential because life itself, the universe, right, is also always in touch with you, right? Is listening to you, right? And where are you vibrating, right? What is your, for example, if there's a person very much in fear or in separation consciousness, even though they say, let's say they want or would love, let's say their harmonious twin flame union or their dream home or whatever it is, but if, for example, the person holds their fears, right, resistance, secretly afraid of it, and then maybe has self-sabotaging things happening within themselves very unconsciously, then that person is prone to experience all sorts of issues on the outside, right?
Mhm.
Because of that those unresolved fears, right? So this is really key that you know this because you and I and everybody here, right? You have the divine right. That's your birthright to live a very divine life and to really have the good, that love, life, the divine God, right, intended for you, right? But what we also would love to mention here, like Stan was hammering on, right, you do play a part in it. So it's not only the divine or life itself and not only surrender, it's also that, hey, I become aware that I actually am an important piece, right? In order that life itself, God, the divine, can actually, also, help me receive my goods that actually the divine intended for me. Right?
Mhm.
So, and the other thing that we would love to mention here, why we do this work, is to bring healing, love to ourselves, right? Everywhere where we don't feel good or anywhere where we harbor fear, right? And when we come into union with love and bring love there, right, our outward reality is more reflecting a more loving, yeah, more love, right? And this way, right, you can co-creatively, right, co-create, right, that beautiful life of love from the divine for you. And what, for example, the twin flame journey, right, is not I just love myself to get the thing. No, this is not how it works, right? I'm also not loving myself to get whomever to love me. That's also not how it works, right? You're just loving yourself also because you know loving yourself is the right thing. If you know, okay, anywhere where I'm upset, then the right choice of me is to take ownership of my upsets, of my feelings, and to love myself. But I basically then surrender or let go on how I think my good looks like, who my twin flame is exactly, right? Like of those details. I let the divine or love itself, show me then what's appropriate for me or what's really from the divine for me, right? What actually fits, what actually makes sense. So it has nothing to do with manipulation at all. It has all to do with you aligning your consciousness, your own being to love, right? And therefore, and if you stay in your divine blueprint, which we are supposed to do, right, all you will attract is just your divine blueprint, right? As within, so without, right? And this is basically what we are doing. And this is basically what the twin flame journey is about, that you come into love and that you then also surrender to love, right? And that you then let love lead your life, let love be it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So
Yeah, beautifully said.
thank you.
So this basically, like what Johanna said, encompasses everything we wanted to
Mm-hmm.
share regarding like surrender on your twin
Yeah.
flame journey, and why it's also
Mm-hmm.
important to keep going within, even
Yeah.
when God calls you or the divine calls you to surrender, that you
Mm-hmm.
still keep looking within. And
Yeah.
within, we mean like in your heart, like how you truly feel about certain things in
Yeah.
your life.
Because because you are actually in truth supposed to have your good, right, the divine life and who you are, right, how the divine created you, your divine self now, right? You're not supposed to have that, right? You don't need to drag that, you by you taking charge of your own inner being, right, of your own state of consciousness, of your own inner world, right, you really do help, you really do love, right? You not only love yourself, you not only love your twin flame, you love the whole world, you love the divine, right? Because in you coming into alignment with love, right, you help create a beautiful life of love, right, in alignment, right? Because then you live your divine blueprint. And then guess what? Then other people can also, first of all, you make it lighter for another person, right, to figure out their divine blueprint. And they can then also live their divine blueprint. And then guess what? We can all live our divine blueprint, right? And be happy in our divine blueprint on how the divine created us, because love itself knows exactly, right, what makes you happy, what's for you, right? It's actually not that difficult if we don't come in the way between love, right? If we're not standing in the way.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it's really just safe to go deeper into love and to surrender more and more to love. And then love life can, love you. And this is what we wanted to say here, right? Because sometimes people can feel discouraged because, yeah, it's not always showing boom up in your life, right? It takes some, you moving your energy, you moving your inner world, right, your being, right, to more and more love. And this is why sometimes the outward doesn't always instantly match up. But what our recommendation is to keep taking charge of yourself, right, of your state of being, knowing that you co-create your life of love, right, and that you can just keep going, that you keep choosing love, that you keep surrendering to love, and love will show you. And there's also love that will open up all the divine good that love has for you. So yeah, this is really why it's so good that you hear this message, because I know it can sometimes look really discouraging, We do know this, but what's very important is that you don't fall for that, that you don't give power to that you don't give power to fear, to ego, and that you keep believing in love, that you keep choosing love, and that you keep moving through your upsets, right? And if you would like help, right, with doing this, Stan and I, we are very happy to help you do this, because it takes your willpower, it takes your determination, your willingness to choose love, to stick with love, to move your energy into love every time, but you're worth doing that. And this is how you catapult yourself, right, out from fear, right, or separation consciousness into more and more love, right? You need to do this. And in order for you to, have that divine life that the divine has for you, you need to catapult yourself, right, your vibration more into love, more and more into union consciousness. And then your harmonious twin flame union, your harmonious union, right, with your perfect life, that's inevitable. But you just need to keep going and choosing the right thing, knowing that you have power, right? You just need to keep going in the direction of love. Yeah.
Good. Thank you for watching our video and see you next time.
Yeah. Take care. Bye bye.